No Man's Sky is a space fantasy exploration game set in a near infinite procedurally generated universe with 18 quintillion star systems just waiting for you to discover them. So Hello Games asked me to make a sponsored video to help highlight No Man's Sky's journey from announcement through launch and all 17 free updates bringing us to the most recent Frontiers update. Make sure to check out the link in the description below. And I gotta say, I wouldn't have the opportunity to do this if it wasn't for Cynical Snowflake, who commented on my first reaction to Frontiers video. Don't you just love fake enthusiasm in these sponsored videos? To which I wasn't a sponsor. So, of course, I tweeted, "Hello Games, y'all still holding that sponsorship for me?" And guess what? A few tweets later, here we are. That's right, sponsored video for Bob. Guys, when they asked me to do this, I said absolutely. There's one problem with this though. I didn't know No Man's Sky existed until mid-2019, and I only started playing it in February of 2020. So I'm gonna tell you what I've heard from other players I know in the community and what I've read and researched online. But what I really want is for you, the player, the guys who were here at the beginning of the launch. I want you to let me know how it felt to you. And for the relatively new players who haven't yet played, I'll try to give you some insight into this amazing game's journey and its incredible fan base. I'm proud to have this as my first sponsored video because it's something I am truly passionate about. Don't tell them, but I probably would have made this video anyway. But thanks for the sponsorship. Announced in 2013 at the VGX Awards, No Man's Sky captured the gaming world's imagination with an ambitious plan. What they announced was a near limitless universe with procedurally generated planets that would be discovered for the first time by players. Planets that no developer had handcrafted, but that were generated at the time of discovery. A universe where you would seamlessly fly from planet to space without a loading screen and be able to discover all the new flora and fauna on each planet that would also be procedurally generated. All brought to you by a 4-person team whose claim to fame at that point was a motorcycle game called Joe Danger. And I gotta say, I didn't know about Joe Danger, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna be my porn name from now on. FYI. The hype continued to build through the proposed launch on PlayStation and PC in August of 2016. And for many, the game didn't live up to the hype. Well, for a lot, it didn't live up to the hype, but I've done a few of these reviews for No Man's Sky over the last year and a half, and this is the part that gets me in the most trouble. So, guys, let me know. Let me know what your thoughts were down in the comments below, and I'll let you guys who are new and don't know read the comments and see for yourself. As I said, I wasn't there. I only had an Xbox back then, and it wasn't released on Xbox until 2018. Whether you loved it or hated it, what did prove out was that there was a core group of dedicated fans that had longed for the sense of wonder and discovery this game created by allowing us to live out the fantasy of exploring a near limitless universe. And honestly, this is not what drew me to the game, but it is definitely what made me stay and play for over 1,500 hours. The game also had a uniquely dedicated team that had grown from 4 to over 20 people who actually cared about it and vowed to see it deliver on everything they knew it could be. And apparently they also made a vow of silence. None of the 17 major updates that have been released over the past 5 years have had any media hype brought on by the company itself. Seriously, as someone new who honestly didn't know about the rocky start and the failed hype of the past, it was frustrating as heck to me that all we get is a tweet a few days in advance of an update with a single seemingly random emoji that's a hint at the update to come. You know, I've complained about this in a few videos, but the more I've thought about it, it might actually be some marketing genius, as the hype is fueled by the community who have filled it with wild, unsubstantiated speculation across the spectrum, while Hello Games sits there silently working on the update and leaving the hype and promotion to us. Well played, team. Well played. I still want some frickin' notice though so I can plan my vacations around it. I'm not gonna walk you through all 17 of the major updates over the past years. Instead, what I'm gonna do is share my experience as a new player stepping into the universe after the first 8 of them. You see, I started playing not long after the Beyond update, which included a free VR version. Free. VR. Yeah, not a separate game. And it changed the game so much that No Man's Sky Beyond 2018 was listed in YouTube as a separate game from No Man's Sky 2016. Since joining the community, I've experienced 9 free updates in the past 19 months. They're averaging 1 every 2 months or so. It started with Exomech, which looks amazing, and then Living Ship. At that point, I was having so much fun that I branched out from Xbox and bought the game again on PC, because I wanted to play with some friends that I'd made in the community. Then I got to participate in the beta testing on Xbox for crossplay, which was introduced in June of 2020. What that meant was, for the first time, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC users could meet up and share experiences that they had only been able to do through photo mode before. It was also introduced to Xbox Game Pass for console and Windows, bringing about 1 million new players to No Man's Sky. Now, I mentioned photo mode here, and I wouldn't be doing No Man's Sky justice if I didn't take a minute to talk about photo mode. It was introduced very early on, but if you go on Twitter or Instagram or search No Man's Sky photos or virtual photography, you're going to see some amazing photos. What I've been showing you here are some that the community have shared with me. And the community is something else I need to mention. It's like no other I've ever experienced in gaming. 95% of the people out there love the game and love sharing it with other people. And I put a tweet out asking for photos because I had gotten a new computer and lost all my photos, and I was inundated with hundreds of photos from people sharing them with me, and I just wanted to show some of them here so you can really see how beautiful this game is. So, moving on. Next, we got Desolation, which brought us a dungeon-style procedurally generated freighters to find and explore in search of new treasures. To me, this was a fun change, and it kinda gave a creepy vibe. I would play you the music so you could feel the vibe, but I don't want to get hit with a DMCA, even though I'm being sponsored. But that's okay. Next was Origins, the first huge update that I experienced. It was so big it took the game from version 2 to version 3.0, and it was released near the end of September in 2020. And it was preceded only by the tweet of an orange. Seriously, an orange. We're supposed to get Origins from orange. I don't know. Whatever. And with the release of next-gen consoles in November of 2020, they released an update for Xbox Series XS as well as PlayStation 5 to take full advantage of the hardware and give them an even better experience. And guess what? That was free too. Continuing this into 2021, they gave us the Companions update, which allowed us to adopt most of the creatures we discovered on planets and take them with us on our journey as our own personal pet. Then they blew our minds with something nobody was expecting, with Expeditions. An entirely new game mode that lets you do a set of challenges to earn rewards in a co-op environment. I just dropped a guide on this the other day. I'll link it if you want to learn more about Expeditions. It's a lot of fun, but it's a limited time thing, so if you want to do it, you have to do it while it's open. To kick off the very first Expedition, they included Twitch drops for the very first time and partnered with streamers and content creators. These were a way for people watching No Man's Sky streamers on Twitch to get free items in-game by linking their accounts and watching those streamers. I gotta say, it was a huge success, and it was a blast for those of us who participated. In fact, at the time of this video, we're entering into another set of Twitch drops coinciding with the most recent Frontiers update and the third expedition that's going to run from Thursday, September 9th through Monday, September 13th. But I'll leave a link to that in the description as well, so you can check that out. Some people don't see the big deal of the Frontiers update, but to me, it's one that has changed the game tremendously. You see, I'm not a builder. In fact, I'm famous in my community for my Bob box, which is a floor, 3 walls, a door, and a roof. 6 pieces. That's all you used to need to get credit for the base building, and that's all I ever did. But they added over 250 new parts, and those parts are gorgeous. Even basic structures look 100 times better. I spent 9 hours this past Sunday learning as many parts as I could and building 2 new bases on my settlement. Oh yeah, it also added settlements on the planet for the first time. Previously, we had only had specific individual buildings that could have some NPCs in them, but with Frontiers, they brought little Frontier-style towns into the game and allowed us to become the overseer and manage it through its growth. I believe, like many other updates, this is laying the foundation for much bigger things to come. So for those of you who are wondering if No Man's Sky is for you, let me tell you a little bit more about the gameplay itself. I always like to start off with what it's not. No Man's Sky is not a PvP game. If you're looking for PvP, currently, in my opinion, it's not built for that, and it's not good at this. In fact, you can toggle PvP off if you want to, and if someone shoots you in the back, it doesn't hurt. What No Man's Sky will give you is an amazing place to relax and explore. You can chill alone after a hard day, or meet up with some friends in one of the galactic hubs to run some missions, fight sentinels, build a massive base, or show off your latest companion. You can spend hours, days, weeks even, hunting that perfect ship if you want the thrill of discovery, or you can go online and pick one of the thousands that have been cataloged by other players, and portal to the coordinates and get what you want right now. You can grind your way to riches, enjoying every little progression along the way, or you can jump to becoming super space rich in just a few hours. You can totally ignore your starter ship and pretend you're alone on this planet with nothing to guide you, or you can follow the tutorial and learn the game while you play for the very first time. I love early game because of all the possibilities that lay ahead, just waiting for you to choose which path to go down, guided by luck or RNG that can change your path every time you play. Seriously, I love it. I know I have at least 50 starts, and that's not counting speedruns. Late game is amazing too because you have access to everything without limitations and can jump through all 256 galaxies if you want, naming everything you discover along the way, as long as the profanity filter's cool with it. Because it's gold and there's oh, profanity filter, huh? What was wrong with that? Now, I say No Man's Sky is a chill experience, but it is what you make of it. With 5 game modes, you can choose to kick it up a notch with survival or permadeath, which limit your inventory space and punish you severely for any mistake. Or go to creative mode and just start flying and building whatever you want from the get-go. Most players start in normal mode. It's a good balance that leaves room for error while still making you work for your achievements as you learn the game. And you can play in all of these modes with 15 save slots now. 15, we used to have 5. So we don't have to choose between our favorites and can keep legacy saves when we want to try something new. I've had people from 9 to 81 years old in my live chat. No Man's Sky may not be for everybody, but it's for a lot of people. So if you tried it at launch and put it aside, maybe now's the time to come back and give it another look. And if it's your first time and you've never experienced any of this, definitely think you should give it a look. I had no idea about the history of it, and I have loved it since the first time I picked it up 19 months ago. Sometimes it can be a struggle to describe exactly what it is to somebody who hasn't experienced it before, but in my research, I found this passage on the No Man's Sky website that I think may help a little bit. No Man's Sky has been in our heads for a very long time. In fact, it has its roots in Sean Murray's experiences growing up on a ranch in the Australian outback. It was the true middle of nowhere, where if something went wrong, you were told to just stay where you were and light a fire at the exact time every day, and hope that someone would find you. The night sky was filled with more stars than you'd ever seen, and we've all thought that this is exactly where video games would go. Video games that contained the whole universe, and you'd be able to visit it all. No Man's Sky takes that jump. It's the game we've always wanted to make. Sean, thank you so much for what you and the team have done and for taking a few minutes to talk to me.
I was not expecting that.
Hey man, don't worry about it. Hey, thanks so much for taking my call. How you been?
Amazing.
That's great to hear. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations on the 5-year anniversary of No Man's Sky. You've done an amazing job, you and your team. Just wanted to congratulate you, like I said, and see if there's anything you'd like to say to the community at this time.
Thank you so much. We're really lucky, you know, we get to come to work every day and make games. No Man's Sky is such a wonderful game to work on, you know. It's not always easy though. So moments like this, they mean a lot, you know. This means a lot to me, means a lot to the team. Thank you so much. Thank you to the community for continuing to support us. Thanks.
Guys, obviously I'm just messing around. This is the acceptance speech when Sean and No Man's Sky won the best ongoing game last year at the Video Game Awards.
The Game Award goes to No Man's Sky.
The gaming world has taken notice of Hello Games' love and support of No Man's Sky over the last 5 years, beyond what anybody would have expected. I hope you'll take this opportunity to give it a try or come back to it. And if you've been here the whole time, thank you for your support and for being part of the community. This is Survival Bob saying, if you're going to be a Bob, have fun with it. And Hello Games, thank you so much for the sponsorship. Hope to do it again sometime.